Hey dudes and chicks, and neither if those rules don't apply to you, welcome to Make It For Last Time. My name is Katie. In today's video, I am going to be using the Vivid Rose palette by Give Me Glow and the Juicy Olive palette by Give Me Glow. I mixed these two palettes for a couple of reasons. One was when I used the Vivid Rose palette, I was wondering if I actually believed that the Give Me Glow Juicy Olive palette was actually really as good as I remembered it being, or if I had just thought that, because at the time I wasn't skilled enough. My skill level, the time that I used it, my skill level was just okay. And I wasn't sure if the opinion I had formed was really the opinion of people that I respect, right? Like I got that opinion from watching other people and they said it was good, so I believed that it was good, or if it was actually good, because honestly at that point I wouldn't have known. And I did have some problems with it a while back, and I couldn't tell if it was because of something I was doing in my eye care routine, or if it was actually my skill level, or if it was actually the palette. So I wanted to do a look because I love pink and green. I love punk rock fairies, so that's like my shit. Fairies wear boots, and you gotta believe it. My fucking camera is too close. My friend told me my head looked too small and there was too much space above my head, so I don't really know what to do about it because I have a really little head, so for my really teeny tiny brain. So I wanted to test this palette and see if it was what the deal was, basically. And so I love this. I love pink and green. I love pukey, poopy green and pink looks. They're like some of my favorites. So if you guys want to see what my final thoughts on that palette are, or if you want to see how I got this look, then just hang out. So I need a fucking haircut first things first. You guys won't be able to tell when my intro comes, but I need a fucking haircut. It's actually driving me crazy. I'm gonna start with the color Vodka Teeny, and I'm using my Made by Mitchell ME1, and I'm just gonna start placing this in the outer V and running it through my crease. I'm pretty sure I'm gonna run pretty high with it. So the reason why I decided to do this look, I actually decided to do it quite a while ago when I used the Vivid Rose palette, because if I'm not mistaken, I think that I've had problems with Give Me Glow's formula with this palette as well. I really don't use this palette. I keep it because I think it's good. I think the more I learn about myself and my preferences, I don't know, just using the Vivid Rose palette made me want to try this one again and just give it another go and see if I actually really love this formula. Now the thing is, what I figured out in my last couple of looks is I can pull a good look out of anything. I mean, honestly, that's not true. I used the Makeup Revolution gray palette. I don't even know what it was called. One of the girls that I went to school with bought that palette for my teacher, and my teacher asked me to do her makeup with that palette, and it was literally the shittiest. I could barely fucking pull a look out of that. But quite frankly, like, apart from like literally the shittiest fucking makeup on the planet, there isn't really much that I can't pull a decent look out of. It's just, how hard is it? How hard is it? If it's that hard, why would I? My point is that I just want to check it out and see, like, how difficult is it? Because if it's that difficult for me to get something good out of it, why would I piss with that? So I'm actually going to use this as kind of like, I'm just going to pull this all the way up. I'm just using the one color, and hopefully I can get the dimension that I want, but if not, I'm willing to go in. I didn't want to go in with the deepest color because I think I want to use Dry Martini, which is the middle deepest. I'm not going to go into this one. I'm going to keep it light. I don't know if anybody has noticed, and I've kind of mentioned it before, but I just really have not got on board with the fall colors this year. I liked them last year. They were totally amazing to me. Like, I was all about it, but I literally just have had no desire to use any of these grungy greens, grungy oranges, like none of it. I've really been into cool tones and brights. Any color brights, any color cool tones I've been into, but I really just have not been into these like grungier fall, quote unquote fall tones. I thought, you know, I don't know, maybe I should try it. they always look super sexy. Like, it's not like I put the Gemini palette on and it's like next level. Those looks are next level. And I did get some pretty good dimension out of just that one color. So as you guys can see, and honestly, I'm not having any problems at all with this color. That's not what I remember. I remember having so much problems with the Muerte palette and then using this palette directly after and getting the same problems and thinking that maybe I was just talking shit about the Muerte palette and that really it was just my crease. Maybe that's just what my lot in life was, but this is blending out super nice. So that was false. And now I'm gonna go in with the Made by Mitchell ME2 and I'm gonna use the color Dry Martini to just give myself a little more dimension and depth in the outer V. Not a lot. I love this brush for this. It's so, I don't know how to explain it. It just, I don't know. It's like a barely there application of something that's like actually looks like, it looks like a shadow and not a different color. I don't know. This brush like has blown my mind after I smack talked it several times. I actually edited out the last bullshit that I talked about this brush because by the time I had uploaded the video, I had completely recanted my statement. So this, I try not to be too quick to say some shit, but one of the things I did say is I don't know, I know that there is a function for this brush, but I need to play with it more because I don't know what it is. And now it's just like honestly a go-to for me. If it's clean, I'm using it. Like, I don't give a fuck. I'm just adding some dimension that doesn't, it's not there. It's actually a shadow. Whew. I don't know. My friend got me these earrings and we realized as we were looking at them that they're backwards to each other, but I kind of liked it, so we left it. And now that I pointed it out, it's probably going to drive you guys crazy, but I just kind of like it a little bit. I like the back side as much as the front side. That's kind of me in a nutshell. I don't know if you guys can tell, but I used many different face products today. Kind of some of my old go-tos and some new things. I used my Tatcha Silk Canvas, which I literally paid $52 for and I've used like maybe 5 times. I had the mini and I used the fuck out of it. The fuck. I got the big one. I spent the money like with my tax returns or some shit and didn't give 2 fucks and a shit about it. I'm going back into Vodkatini and I'm just gonna put more because even though I don't need more, I'm like, why can't I stop? So this is like beautiful. I'm blown away. I actually thought that maybe it was just my disposition at the time that made me think it was good because I was so disappointed with the Vivid Rose that I just wanted to try this again. Oh, so anyways, as I was saying, I used a bunch of different shit today and dude, one of my subscribers, Michelle, she was like, dude, in my favorites video, she was like, dude, the fucking Bitter Lace Beauty highlighters. And I remembered I had bought the Bitter Lace Beauty highlighter in Watermelon Whip a long time ago and I've never used it. I need to tell you guys, this is literally the best highlighter I have ever used. It actually takes away texture. I'm gonna go into the color Spill the Tea Rose, which I insanely regretted last time, but I think it's gonna actually really go along with what I'm doing here. So I'm just gonna use this to like blow out my lower lash line because I'm gonna add a color that is not gonna blend with this very well. And so I really wanna pack this on here so I don't have to reapply it. And actually, I need a bigger brush, way bigger. I'm gonna use something that I don't have to look up the label for. My Zoeva 221, I think the number's worn off. I'm gonna use that to blend this out. And the reason why I'm doing this so thick right now is because I don't wanna have to reapply this. Once I put this other color on here, I don't want to have to put it on again because I don't want to have to blend the two together any more than to just get the blend. Because the more you blend shadows, especially complementary shadows or opposing, they're called complementary technically, but to people who don't know what that means, it sounds like they go well together. They actually don't go well together. They don't blend. They're complementary because they're opposites of each other on the color wheel. So they're technically called complementary, but they do complement each other, but they don't play well together. So I think that's about as far as I'm gonna go. I'm really packing this and blowing it out. I really want this down, down, down. I'm gonna use my Motopro BMX 402. I'm gonna go into the color Dry Martini. Now this isn't quite as grungy, I would say. I think this is a little brighter and a little bit more pea green rather than the drab green. And that's the reason why I want to use it, because I think it'll look really cute next to this pink. And I'm just stamping this on here because I don't want to blend it at all. And then I'm going to take a fluffier brush. Oh, I'm going to use this P. Louise number 143. And I'm actually going to dip into Dry Martini because this is a perfect brush for this. Brushes are everything, you guys. And I don't mind if it turns a little brown. I don't mind that. I won't be pissed at that. I need it to not be... And then I'm going in with my Wayne Goss number 20, and I'm going to add a little bit more of Spill the Tea Rose. Good enough for the guy's eye data. I like that a lot. Okay, now I'm going to use my NYX Glitter Primer. My AOA E131 is my favorite brush. It just has this nice point, but it's like thick and burly so that it actually like, I don't know, there's just something about it that really places color and like it comes with a full force. I'm going to top this, and then I'm going to use my Jessup 234, and I'm going to go into the color Pink Rosé. Man, that shift looks like it was made for this palette. And then I'm gonna go into Shaken Not Stirred. Now I'm just tapping out these edges and getting this really blent. Love it. I'm just blending out that outer part. And actually, since I just did that, I'm gonna go like this. I'm gonna go into Spill the Tea Rose, and I'm just gonna kind of go like this. And then back in with Dry Martini, I'm just gonna blend that up. See, it kind of goes back to what I was talking about when I was working with the Beetlejuice palette, is like with the pukey greens, the poopy greens, the brownie greens, these colors that have like a hint of like ugly brown shitty color in them anyway, or even not necessarily brown, but like green or like mustard yellow, like these like dirty brown colors. They're actually fairly forgiving as far as like what you can mix together, and when they muddy up, it still looks good because they're already muddy to begin with. And so when people are talking about it muddied up, it's where you either over blend a shadow or you are blending shadows together that aren't supposed to go together. And I find that a lot of times people find frustration in their palettes and in their makeup collections because of a palette that they can't make work, and it's because the colors in the palette have opposing colors, and there's certain ways to make them work, but blending them together might not necessarily be it. So these pukey, poopy browns and mustard seed yellows and greens, they're a little more forgiving because they already have that muddy kind of dirty, poopy look already. And so mixing a green and a pink together it's a lot more forgiving if it's like a poopy green. So, and then I'm going to use the color Garnish as my inner corner highlight. With my AOA E128, I'm going to use the color Garnish. Oh, look at that. And then I'm taking my Jessup 234 and I'm just going to use that to kind of pack that pink color, or like blend these two colors together. I want to get more of that pink back down in there. I kind of went a little too high with it. Not too high, just higher than I intended. I literally almost feel like you could take this pink and these greens and mix them together and it would create the most beautiful pink and green duochrome shift. Like, it literally seems like this pink was made to blend with a fucking metallic green. So I want to. Okay, I'm taking my Voldemorphe JH39. It's the pencil brush, and I'm just gonna take that pink and run it along my lower lash line and like blend it into this green. Look at that. It's like it's not even two different colors. It's fucking amazing. Now I'm just gonna take my P. Louise my baby P. Louise brush, and I'm gonna reinforce that Dry Martini, that bright pea green, and just run it. And now I'm going to use my Voldemorphe JH42 little baby brush, and I'm going to go into that Dry Martini just a titch. And I'm going to spray my brush. I'm gonna go finish my face and I'll be back when I'm done. Okay, this is the manifesto, the pièce de résistance. I need a fucking haircut. I need a haircut so bad. Don't judge me. Don't worry. I'm about to do something stupid, so don't worry. It's gonna be okay. I use my NYX Slide On Glide On All Day Hard On in Golden Olive. I use my Sugar Pill in Dropout, and my Rouge and Rogue eye wigs in Miss Fury. I guess that's it, because I already told you guys about this fucking Bitter Lace beauty. It really is a beauty. And actually, seriously, like, I don't know if I mentioned this, but it literally takes away texture. So, like, one of the things when I first got into makeup and all the makeup, everyone was saying, like, don't use shimmer, it adds texture. And a lot of people who are like 40 and older don't want to use don't like highlighters because it adds texture. And I'm like, I fucking do. So what then? So who's talking about that? So who's talking about, I want to do that shit anyways? So this is a highlighter that actually, like, my skin looks, I don't know how it fucking looks to you, but it looks totally smooth. And like, honestly, the Be Perfect Get Wet highlighters look like that with my beauty sponge. But this, like, I was like, boop, and it like, oh, bye-bye, fucking wrinkles. Yay! So anyways, I don't feel wrinkly. I don't. And so I need a fucking haircut bad. And also, I do want to say, like, this palette fucking measured up. It fucking does. It is a very good formula. It does perform well. There isn't creasing. The colors are really nice. It blent out super easy. This was a really easy look, by the way. If you guys didn't want to use that brighter tone, I swear to you, this is like a one, out of this palette, it's like one color and a fucking dimensional. You could either use the darkest or the midsies. And it was just so easy. And then two shimmers. So like, any two will do. Any two you want to put together. These shimmers are super blendable. So I know I'm not reviewing this palette, but like I said, I just can't stop looking at my hair. I wanted it to be a little curly, and then I put too much product in it. Now I look like I have two different sets of hair. I feel like I have some straight hair and some curly hair, and the curls ain't going where I want them to, and the straight ones ain't going where I want them to, and I basically just look like a greasy fucking punk rock fairy. Punk rock fairy. Well, fairies wear boots and you gotta believe it. Don't forget to subscribe to my channel and hit the notification bell, because you can't wait to see what happens next. Hit the like button if you like this look, or if you just like my sparkling personality, my boyish charm, and hang out with me in the comments because I fucking love it. And also, I wanted to tell you guys, I've come to realize that there's like a huge discrepancy between Instagram Katie and YouTube Katie. And so if you got on my channel and you thought I was really pretty until I opened my mouth, then go follow me on Instagram, because I'm a lot quieter on there. The other thing is, you guys can a lot of times see the finished look on Instagram. So it's at Makeup for Last Time, just the same as it is here. Thank you guys so much for watching. You could have been anywhere, but you were here spending your precious, valuable time with me, and I totally appreciate you. Later.